That's where we are this week at the Paris International Golf Club for the 2010 staging of the Ladies French Open. The course itself was opened back in 1991 with rolling fairways and changing colours of early autumn. It certainly makes for a visual feast. The front nine very open and the back nine quite contrasting because it's very tree-lined and quite hilly. Trish Johnson targeting her 20th career victory here this week in Paris. Leading by 4 from Caroline Masson, the young rookie from Germany. Leanne Pace, 3 times a winner on tour already this season. She's back down on 4 under in a tie for 16th. Laura Davis decided to put some pressure on the leader. Playing alongside Trish Johnson, she carded an eagle on the par 5 third hole to move her to 12 under. Diana Luna was out in 33. Having enjoyed 3 fine birdies, she got a 4th on the 10th to move her to 13 under. Laura Davis missed her eagle opportunity on the 8th, but she did get the birdie, and that got her to 3 under par for the round, keeping up the pressure on the leader. There was another birdie on the 9th, and yet another here on the 10th to get her 5 under for the day, and briefly into a tie for the lead with Trish Johnson. So making all the headlines. But then, for all the wrong reasons, she slipped completely out of the lead with a triple bogey 7 on the 11th. So it was between Trish Johnson and this lady, the Italian, Diana Luna. Here with a birdie attempt on the 14th. That got her to 14 under. Caroline Afonso, one of the talented young French players here contesting this French Open, managed to eagle the 18th hole. That got her to 9 under par in total, and would eventually end up with her being the leading French player. But it was all about Trish Johnson and Diana Luna towards the conclusion of this 4th round in France. Johnson managing to birdie the 14th hole to strengthen her grip on the title, and Diana Luna, some holes ahead, managing to finish off with a wonderful round of 67 that got her to 14 under par and gave her the clubhouse lead. Johnson slipped with bogeys on 15 and 17, so really under pressure with this closing attempt for a birdie and outright victory sliding by. She would manage to tap in for a par 5, but that meant that on 14 under she too was tied, and that it would be a playoff to decide this French Open title for 2010. This was the 3rd shot of Johnson, having laid up, peppering the flag, putting it into 3 feet. Her opponent was 12 feet away, also with a birdie opportunity. And this to keep the playoff alive. But it slid by on the high side, which allowed Johnson a 3-footer for her 3rd victory in the French Open and her 20th career victory. Winning on the first hole of sudden death, Trish Johnson on top of the podium yet again. So it was Johnson and Luna who battled it out in the end, with some solid performances from the youngsters like Jun and Masson finishing in a tie for 3rd. Lucie André, one of the talented young French amateurs, really impressive with a final round 66, giving her a tie for 16th.
As well as I putted yesterday, that's as badly as I putted all year in one round of golf. But I kept thinking to myself that eventually I'll hold one. You know, that's the only good thing about it. Rather than getting down on myself and and eventually I did. On 14 I hold one, but then on 17 I really have no clue what was going on. That would have been one I gave away. I mean, you could sort of say Laura gave it away, I guess, but you know, when you've got a 4-shot lead overnight and you were playing that well, if you don't win it, you just... And 17 was the one. You know, if you lose that because you 3-putt from 6 feet, you need your head testing. So I think it was relief more than anything else, rather than emotional. At least I didn't mess it up.
After 3 victories, Leanne Pace continues to lead the Henderson money list. Trish Johnson has now moved up to 7th position overall. Laura Davis continues to lead the standings for next year's Solheim Cup. Melissa Reid is up to 2nd. Trish Johnson herself has moved up to 5th. In the Rolex Women's Rankings, Ai Miyazato of Japan continues to lead, and the leading European from Norway, Suzanne Pedersen. Her 3rd victory in the Open de France and a 20th career victory for Trish Johnson. Congratulations.